In today's video, you'll discover things you may have never heard before. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Can a desert actually sing or roar like a low-pitched musical instrument when no one is around?
The answer is friction and frequency. When sand grains of a specific size slide against each other, they create vibrations that synchronize into a loud hum, reaching up to 105 decibels, as loud as a low-flying plane.
Is the world's most famous blue diamond truly cursed to bring tragedy to everyone who owns it?
The answer is a glowing red trick. While the curse was likely a marketing story to add value, the diamond has a real scientific ghost property. When exposed to UV light, it glows blood red for several seconds, even after the light is turned off.
Is there a lake in Australia that is naturally bright bubblegum pink? And does the color stay the same even in a bottle?
The answer is salt-loving algae. Unlike other pink lakes, its color comes from Dunaliella salina, algae, and halobacteria that thrive in high salt levels, keeping the water permanently pink even when taken out of the lake.
Is there a place on Earth where it lightnings for 10 hours a night, 300 days a year, without any thunder?
The answer is a natural lighthouse. In Venezuela, the meeting of mountain winds and swamp methane creates a constant electrical storm, so bright it has been used by sailors for navigation for centuries.
Is there a giant hole in the desert that has been burning with massive fire for over 50 years?
The answer is a Soviet mistake. In 1971, engineers accidentally collapsed a natural gas cavern. They lit it on fire thinking it would burn out in a few weeks, but it has been burning nonstop ever since.
Can two massive stone statues in Egypt actually sing or whistle when the sun rises?
The answer is cracking stone. After an earthquake, the colossi of Memnon began making a high-pitched whistling sound at dawn because the morning sun heated the damp, porous rock, forcing air through the cracks.
Is there a terrifying waterfall in Antarctica that flows with bright red blood over white ice?
The answer is salt and iron. It is actually trapped, ancient seawater that is 3 times saltier than the ocean. When this clear water touches the air, its high iron content rusts instantly, turning it a deep blood-red color.
Could a whole town in the year 1518 actually dance themselves to death for no reason?
The answer is toxic bread. Hundreds of people in France danced for days until they collapsed. Scientists believe they ate rye bread infected with ergot fungus, a natural chemical that causes wild hallucinations and muscle spasms.
Is there a suicide bridge in Scotland where dogs inexplicably jump off the edge for no reason?
The answer is a scent trap. Scientists discovered that thick mink and rat nests under the bridge release a powerful smell that drives hunting dogs into a frenzy, making them jump toward the scent without realizing the 50-foot drop.
Does space jelly actually fall from the sky during meteor showers and then vanish?
The answer is frog remains. For centuries, people thought this translucent goo was from stars. It is actually the unfertilized eggs or oviducts of female frogs that expand rapidly when it rains or when a predator attacks.
Did heavy lead coffins inside a sealed underground tomb in Barbados move around on their own for years?
The answer is natural flooding. Every time the chase vault was opened, the coffins were in different spots. Scientists believe water seeped into the airtight tomb, causing the heavy lead boxes to float and drift into new positions.
Can lightning actually get frozen in the ground and turned into a solid glass tube?
The answer is fulgurites. When lightning hits sand, the 30,000 degrees C heat instantly melts the silica into a hollow, branching glass tube that perfectly preserves the shape of the lightning bolt underground.
Can a giant 240-foot bell tower stand perfectly upright in the middle of a deep lake?
The answer is a flooded history. In 1939, Stalin ordered a whole Russian town to be flooded to build a dam. Everything was destroyed except this massive bell tower, which was left as a navigation marker for ships.
Why did some Viking warriors have deep horizontal grooves filed into their front teeth?
The answer is intimidation paint. Vikings carved these lines into their enamel and filled them with bright red or black dye to look terrifying in battle, showing they were elite members of a warrior class.
Why do 400 pine trees in a small Polish forest all grow with a perfect 90-degree J curve at their base?
The answer is human intervention. Most experts believe local farmers intentionally bent the young saplings in the 1930s to grow naturally curved wood for making specialized furniture or curved boat hulls.
Did a Roman inventor create a type of unbreakable glass that could be dented like metal and then popped back into shape?
The answer is a lost invention. Ancient texts claim an inventor showed Emperor Tiberius a glass bowl that didn't shatter when thrown. The emperor had him executed to protect the value of gold and silver, taking the secret recipe to the grave.
Could a dark, sealed underground cave develop its own deadly atmosphere and support entirely new species of life that exist nowhere else on Earth?
The answer is an alien ecosystem. Discovered in Romania, this cave was sealed for 5.5 million years. It has very little oxygen but is full of toxic gases. The creatures inside, like eyeless water scorpions and spiders, don't need sunlight but feed on a thick mat of bacteria that eats the hydrogen sulfide gas.
Why is modern concrete crumbling after 50 years, while ancient Roman concrete harbors and piers are still perfectly solid after 2,000 years of being pounded by sea waves?
The answer is seawater activation. The Romans mixed volcanic ash into their concrete. When salt water hits it, a rare mineral called aluminous tobermorite grows into long crystals that interlock, making the concrete stronger and preventing cracks from spreading.
Where does the water go when half of a massive river falls into a deep stone hole and simply vanishes?
The answer is a hidden path. For years, people threw GPS trackers and die into the hole, but they never came out. Scientists recently proved the water simply flows through porous underground rock and rejoin the main river underwater.
How did ancient sword makers create blades so sharp they could cut a silk scarf in midair and never lose their edge?
The answer is natural nanotechnology. These legendary swords were made from woots, steel containing tiny carbon nanotubes. The secret was lost for centuries because the specific iron mines in India that provided the magic impurities eventually ran dry.
How do giant rocks in Death Valley move across a dry lake bed, leaving long tracks behind them?
The answer is a thin layer of ice. On winter nights, rain freezes into a thin sheet. At sunrise, the melting ice and a light breeze slide the heavy rocks over the slippery mud.
Is the famous Parthenon in Greece actually built with perfectly straight lines and 90-degree angles?
The answer is an optical illusion. Every column is slightly curved and the floor is arched. The Greeks built it crooked on purpose so that, from a distance, it would look perfectly straight to the human eye.
Was there really a city made entirely of solid gold, hidden deep within the Amazon rainforest?
The answer is a misunderstanding. El Dorado wasn't a city but a person. The Muisca people of Colombia had a ritual where their new chief would cover his body in gold dust and dive into Lake Guatavita. Spanish explorers heard the story, imagined a whole city of gold, and spent centuries searching for a place that never existed.
Why does the world's largest blue star sapphire show a perfect six-rayed star that seems to move across the stone?
The answer is titanium needles. Inside the sapphire are tiny, needle-like crystals of a mineral called rutile. When light hits these needles, it reflects in 3 directions, creating a perfect star shape. This effect is called asterism, and the star follows your eye as you move the stone.
Why do people all over the world hear massive, cannon-like explosions coming from a perfectly clear blue sky?
The answer is a mix of nature's booms. While some are sonic booms from secret planes, many skyquakes are caused by massive underwater caves collapsing, distant meteors exploding high in the atmosphere, or even lake guns, gas escaping from the bottom of deep lakes.
Can it actually snow blood in the mountains, turning entire white glaciers into a deep, dark red?
The answer is watermelon algae. A tiny green algae called Chlamydomonas nivalis contains a bright red pigment to protect itself from the sun's intense UV rays. When the snow melts slightly, the algae blooms, turning the mountains pink or red, and it actually smells like fresh watermelon.
How did a 50,000-year-old dark green lake in India suddenly turn bright bubblegum pink in just a few days?
The answer is salt and microbes. During a severe heat wave, the water evaporated, making the lake much saltier. This triggered a massive bloom of halobacteria and pink algae that love salt, turning the entire 1.8-kilometer wide crater into a giant pink pool almost overnight.
How did ancient builders in Peru fit 100-ton stones together so perfectly that you can't even slide a single human hair between them?
The answer is masterful sanding. The Inca didn't use mortar or magic. They used a trial and error method, slowly carving and sanding the contact points of each stone using harder river rocks and water until the two surfaces matched each other's unique shape exactly.
How can a 600-year-old stone temple in India produce perfect musical notes when you gently tap its solid granite columns?
The answer is geological tuning. Each of the 56 Sergama pillars is carved from a single piece of resonant granite. Ancient architects specifically chose stones with high silica content and different densities. By carving them into different thicknesses, they tuned the rock to vibrate at specific frequencies, turning the entire temple into a giant lithophone.
Why did ancient Aztec priests use mirrors made of volcanic glass to talk to gods and see the future?
The answer is scrying and obsidian. These mirrors were hand-polished from obsidian, a naturally occurring black glass. Because the surface is dark and highly reflective, it creates a tunnel vision effect that helped priests enter a meditative trance. They believed it was a portal to the underworld and the god Tezcatlipoca, whose name literally means smoking mirror.
How many of these questions did you already know the answers to? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like the video.